Welcome to Guide to IELTS. In this video, we'll discuss an idiom that can come in handy in IELTS speaking. Off the top of one's head. This idiom has more than one meaning depending on the type of sentence where it is used. However, all the meanings are a little similar. It means to know about something or to speak about something without thinking too deeply about it. An example, I don't know the details of the project off the top of my head, but I can look it up and get back to you. Or, there are of course many books on this subject, but these two are the only ones I can tell you off the top of my head. Let's look at a few examples of how it can be used in IELTS speaking. If you're asked, who is your favorite author? Your answer could be, there are quite a few actually, so it's difficult to name one. But off the top of my head, I'll say J.K. Rowling. So what I'm saying here is J.K. Rowling is not the only favorite author of mine, but she's one of my favorites. Similarly, if in part 2 of IELTS speaking, the cue card I'm given is, talk about an intelligent person you know. This could be a sentence I use. He's great at memorizing stuff. He once listed names of all the states in one breath off the top of his head. Which just means that this person remembered names of all these states without looking them up specially. An example from part 3 IELTS speaking questions. What are the advantages of using technology in education? Answer. Well, usage of technology to teach is beneficial in tons of ways. But off the top of my head, I'd say that a significant benefit is that it makes studies interesting for students. Basically, technology makes education edutainment. That is, it combines education and entertainment. So what I've said here is that there are many advantages, but the one I can think immediately, that is the one I can think off the top of my head, is this one. If we talk about IELTS writing, this idiom is a little informal and should ideally not be used in writing. However, one writing task where it can find place is the writing task 1 general. That is where you have to write a letter. So if you're writing an informal letter, that is a letter to a friend or a colleague, you can use this. So if I'm writing a letter to a friend who is visiting me from a foreign country, this could be part of the letter. There are plethora of places that we can plan trips to. We can decide finally after thinking about it and discussing it, but off the top of my head, I can think of a couple of monuments which are about an hour's drive from my place and a newly built mall which is a must visit for any shopping enthusiast. I'll leave you with a few quotable quotes. The first one is by stand-up comedian Donald Rickles, where he's saying that his act is spontaneous, that is, he thinks about it on the spot, or my whole act is off the top of my head. In contrast to this is a quote by Stephen Wright, another stand-up comedian, who says, very rarely do I talk off the top of my head on stage. I'm not an improv guy. I'm a writer guy who presents what he's written. So on the one hand, Don Rickles is saying that he spontaneously speaks what comes to his mind, whereas Steve Wright is saying that he plans ahead, he thinks beforehand about what he's going to say. The next one is by the singer who's professionally known as Washed Out. I just make up lyrics off the top of my head. A lot of times there's a phrase I really like and I kind of build the song around it. The next quote is by the model Daria Verbaui, who's saying that she can't immediately think of anyone who really helped her or took care of her when she started her career. The idiom used for this is to take under one's wing. And the quote is, off the top of my head, I can't really think of anyone who really took me under their wing. You get advice from everyone. Kate Moss once said to me, don't worry about the past, just keep going. That has always sort of stuck with me. That's it for now. All the very best.